Now we will do the difficult words of chapter 1. I will read each word carefully with the spelling and then I'll pronounce that word 3 times. You have to repeat after me. So let's start it. Our first word is plopped, plopped, plopped. P-L-O-P-P-E-D. Then our second word is straw, straw, straw. S-T-R-A-W. Then our third word is chumped, chumped, chumped. J-U-M-P-E-D. Then our fourth word is toadstool, toadstool, toadstool. T-O-A-D-S-T-O-O-L. Then violet, violet, violet. V-I-O-L-E-T. Then patch, patch, patch. P-A-T-C-H. Then disappear, disappear, disappear. D-I-S-S-A-P-P-E-A-R. Then hollow, hollow, hollow. H-O-L-L-O-W. Then laughed, laughed. L-A-U-G-H-E-D. Then hopped, hopped, hopped. H-O-P-P-E-D. Here we have 3 words and we have to make sentences of these words. These words are from your chapter 1. You have to do the work of chapter 1 before making the title page of chapter 2. So you have to do the word sentences by yourself, but to explain it to you, I am giving you an example, but you cannot write the example as it is in your copies. You have to make your own sentences. Okay, so the words are hat, stream, chumped. For hat, we can make a sentence like Harry had a straw hat. And a sentence of a stream can be there were 3 flat rocks in the stream. And the sentence for chump can be Harry jumped over a toadstool to catch his hat. Our today's topic is bears. This is the 4th chapter of our book. So let's start it. In this topic, we will study about bears, all about the bears. As do you guys know that there are 3 types of bears: polar bears, which are white bears, brown bears, which are also known as grizzly bears, and pandas. There are 3 kind of bears, but in our book we will only learn about the white bears, means the polar bears, and the brown bears, means the grizzly bears. So let's start it. Bears are bashful. Bashful means they are uncomfortable and easily embarrassed or shy. Bears are bright, means white bears shine so much. They are so bright. And bashful means they shy a lot. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a fun fact about bears. Do you know that white bears do not actually have white fur? The skin under their white fur is black. Because they live in a snowy area, that's why the light shines or reflects on them, and that's why their hairs look white. Whereas they do not have white hairs, they have translucent hair. And polar bears are dressed in white. As I told you that polar bears looks white. So they are telling us that polar bears are dressed in white, means they are white. But actually they are not white. Their skin under their fur is black. Their hairs are translucent, means crystal clear. But when light reflects on them, they look white. Now we are moving towards the brown bears. Brown bears are playful, means have you ever noticed bears from have you ever seen some videos on National Geographic, or if you see some clips of bears on internet, they are so playful. Bears are round, means they looks round from far because they have a round tummy. Grizzly bears are dressed in brown. As I told you that grizzly bears are brown in color, but do you know the very interesting fun fact about grizzly bears? Grizzly bears are brown in color, but the hair on their back and shoulder is grizzly. That's why they are known as grizzly bears. Bears like honey. Grizzly bears or brown bears like honey so much. They can eat fishes as well, whereas polar bear only eats fishes because they live in an icy and watery area, and the thing that they find there is only fishes. Bears like trees. Okay, bears like to climb the trees. Bears get chased by honeybees. As I told you that bears like honey so much, so they sometimes irritates the honeybees or try to eat honey from honeybees hives. Hives are a place where honeybee lives. So when they irritates honeybees and they try to break their hives or get honey from their hives, hives are honeybees' houses where they live. So honeybees chases bears because they try to irritate them and they try to get honey from their hives. That's why they are saying that bears get chased by honeybees. Okay, there are some bears that are dark brown in color and they sometimes seem black. These kind of bears usually found in the forest in America. So these kind of bears usually lives on mountains. So bears like mountains, bears like streams. Okay, we know that bears like mountain, and it is easy. You know the meaning of mountain as, but do you know the meaning of streams? Remember we studied about streams in the previous chapter. Streams are a small and narrow rivers. And do you know bears spend winters in their dreams? Means when winters come, all the bears around the world goes to sleep, and they spend all of their winters in hibernation. This process of sleeping in winters is known as hibernation. Here they are telling us that bears spend their winters in their dreams, means they sleep throughout the winters. Now here I've added some fun facts about bears, so you guys can study more about the bears. So let's start from the polar bears first. The first fun fact over here, I've explained the first fun fact, I've put it over here. So now I'm going to read the second one and then I'll explain it to you. Now do you know that bears can swim for days just to get from one piece of ice to another, because bears like the pieces of ice. We are talking about polar bears, and polar bears live in a watery and icy area, so they love the pieces of ice Male polar bear can weigh as much as 10 men. Now this is very interesting that male polar bears are as heavy as 10 men. Means they weigh a lot. Polar bears touch their nose with other polar bears to ask them to share their foods. This is another interesting fact about polar bears, that they touch their noses with other polar bears whenever they want to share the foods with other polar bears, or whenever they want them to share their foods with them. They touches each other's nose. Now here we have some interesting facts about grizzly or brown bears. I've explained the first one to you in the previous slide. Now I'm going to start with the second one. Do you know that grizzly or brown bears lives up to 30 years in the wild? Wild means in the forest. They spend their 30 years of their lives in the jungle or in the wild. And grizzly bears have perfect eyesight and excellent sense of smell. Even they can smell better than a dog. As we learned in the previous slide that polar bears can swim for days, and I'll say the same for grizzly bears. They are excellent swimmer as well as excellent runners. They can run so fast. Now I'm going to read the difficult words of chapter 2, and you have to do the same that you have done in the difficult words of chapter 1. Listen each word carefully with its spelling and then pronounce after me. Okay? So our first word is bashful, bashful, bashful. Bashful. Playful, playful, playful. Playful. Grizzly, grizzly, grizzly. GRIZZLY. Then round, round, round. ROUND. Then chased, chased, chased. CHASED. Then mountains, mountains, mountains. MOUNTAINS. Then streams, streams, streams. STREAMS. Then dreams, dreams, dreams. DREAMS. Then winters, winters. WINTERS. Then honey, honey, honey. HONEY. Here we have the word meanings of our second chapter, bears. So you just have to find the meanings of the words in your dictionary that has been provided to you in your course, and then you have to write those meanings in your copies, just like you did in the previous chapter.